We're fresh off an exciting finish to the final regional in the modern OverPower season. Today we're going to talk about the top 8 decks in the Philadelphia PAX Regional, what characters and home bases were played, how they did, and some of my impressions about them. So it was another awesome day on the east side of the country. It was really cool seeing the tournament amongst thousands of other convention goers. I know that a lot of people wandered by the tables to peek at what was going on. And I was particularly excited to see players who had just learned about OverPower for the first time on Friday throwing their hats on the ring in the tournament on Saturday. That's how to get people hooked. Playing a demo is one thing, but offering someone a chance to actually get to play is what's going to make them stay. I hope we get to see more events during or post conventions to keep players hooked. But enough about that. Let's talk the PAX Regional. I think we ended up with 48 different players on game day, making it the second biggest regional behind Columbus. And our top 8 had a huge variety in it too. And stay tuned for the finals matchup. It was an epic rumble between the meta and an unforeseen challenger. So please note, I was trying to give the players room while playing, so I didn't catch many of the plays or deck intents. I also did not play any of the top 8 finishers, so I don't have any personal tournament experience with their decks. I'll let you know which games were captured on video for you to catch once LRG posts them. I'll start with our single elimination rounds. Number 8. Our 8th seed in the PAX elimination round was Justin. He finished with a 5-2 record and had a 63% opponent win percentage. Justin played King Arthur, Leonidas, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson, along with 221B Baker Street. Now this is a great combination of combat and intelligence. Sherlock and Watson were able to pull cards out of their opponent's deck with the help of Baker Street, and King Arthur brought his team of Void Shields. And of course, Leonidas brought home the bread with all those 8s. A lot of cool characters here that fit into so many decks. Great job, Justin. Number 7. Our 7th seed in the PAX elimination round was Diego, who went 5-2. Diego played Captain Nemo, Deja Thoris, Leonidas, Billy the Kid, and the Round Table. Representing Liga OverPower Brazil, Diego sailed all the way from the southern hemisphere to raid the city of brotherly love, and he brought a pretty brutal crew with him. Leonidas' 8 and team defense were essential, but Deja Thoris' card draw and Captain Nemo's few big hits and sneaky lockouts made opponents really have to wonder where to try and land attacks. Billy rounded out the deck with that reserve firepower. I wonder if Skybound will break Billy's streak in the top 8, or if he's going to stay a reservist for the foreseeable future. Number 6. Our 6th seed in the PAX elimination round was Adam, who also had a 5-2 record. Adam played the Mummy, Morgan Le Fay, Wicked Witch, with Raw in reserve, and Asclepion. Repping the San Francisco Bay, Adam broke the meta entirely and brought an all-energy deck to this modern regional. In an age where everyone only touches an energy character for Harness the Wind, Adam's deck outlasted you and punished you for any hits you thought you can land. Sitting Raw in reserve is a great idea too, because his +2 to power cards on defense with that Universe card made his power pack absolutely brutal. Great job, Adam. Number 5.
Our 5th place seed was Nor with a 5-2 record. Nor played Captain Nemo, 3 Musketeers, Zorro, and Jane Porter, along with the Round Table. Congrats to Columbus. Nor rose to his 2nd top 8 placement with his Combat Alliance. I had to re-record Nor's team because I mistook the prize pack Nemo art for Cthulhu's. Anyway, Nemo provided the heavy hits, and the 3 Musketeers piled on the pressure. Watch out for Nor in Nationals, everyone.
Number 4. Our 4th seed was Sean F., who went 5-2 and had a 67.4% opponent win percentage. Sean played the Wicked Witch, Mina Harker, Headless Horseman, and Billy the Kid in reserve with Dracula's Armory. Man, I love so much about this deck. Not only all those basic universes on Drax's Armory, but Sean the 4 Horseman Fleischman lived up to his name and also brought ERB's only Horseman in this wild energy split deck. Witch, Mina, and Headless Horseman all had 6s or above in energy, but with the Armory could still defend against 8s, 9s, 10s, or even 11s thrown their way. Headless Horseman was one of my early favorites when opening packs, so it's great to see the Haunter of Sleepy Hollow hunt his way into the top 8 for the first time this season. Cool deck, Sean, and great job. Number 3. Breaking into the top 3 seeds here, in the PAX Elimination round was Lawrence, who was our first 6-1 finish so far. Lawrence played Sun Wukong, Leonidas, a frontline Billy the Kid, along with Dr. Watson and Asclepion. And now this is a real combat brawler. Billy and Sun Wukong both capitalized after a lost hand, so this deck had the ability to be a comeback king, and was the first 6-1 showing here. Awesome job, Lawrence. Number 2. Our second seed in the PAX Elimination round was Sean B, with also a 6-1 record. Sean played Sherlock Holmes, Joan of Arc, Joan Porter, Professor Moriarty, and the Land That Time Forgot. And here she is. Joan of Arc makes a triumphant return into the top 8, this time supported with a full-time intelligence cast. Sherlock and Jane bring the negates, removals, and avoids that make them a nightmare, while the Professor waits in reserve to fix the odds in the power pack. Sean was the only player in the final ranks who played the Land That Time Forgot, and I'll bet those post-concession blows made opponents wary about pushing a little too hard. Great job, Sean. Number 1. Our number 1 seed entering the elimination rounds was Ricky, who had an undefeated 7-0 run. Ricky ran Sun Wukong, Wicked Witch, Dr. Watson, Carson of Venus, and 221B Baker Street. The quintessential shift deck of the Season 0 modern era. Every character on the lineup had ways to shift attacks and give Ricky domineering control of the board. Even heavy venture decks would have a problem with this one, because Sun Wukong can shrug off those hard-earned attacks with his full heal. I'm surprised that it took this long for Carson to have such a strong showing. His 7 energy to back up the Witch and his 2 immense 1 protects make him an elite reservist. So how did our valiant players do? Well, our first seed Ricky was paired up against Justin's intelligence deck, but the shifts proved too strong and Ricky advanced. Second seed Sean was paired up against Diego. The Viking squad had to turn back and retreat in hopes of fighting another day in Nationals. Sean took the win. Third seed Lawrence's combat deck was faced up against Adam's all-energy powerhouse. And in the end, energy took the day and Adam advanced. Fourth seed Sean F played Nor in the last of the top 8 games. The Headless Horseman had finally lost his mark as Nor's Cthulhu deck pushed him into the top 4. The semifinals paired Nor against Ricky and Adam against Sean B. In the end, Nor's combat alliance fell before Ricky's unending shifts, and Adam's energy deck took down Sean's intelligence deck, leaving 2 left in the finals of the PAX Regional. This final brought the Wicked Witch, Morgan Le Fay, Mummy, and Raw up against the undefeated Sun Wukong, Wicked Witch, Dr. Watson, and Carson of Venus. The witches clashed, cards were ripped from hands, and blows were negated or carefully placed. And in the end, Adam's energy deck was spent and Ricky emerged victorious. Congratulations on your huge tournament win, Ricky. Bragging rights for a 10-0 run and a big check are the rewards for your smart decision making, strong deck, and hard-earned experience. And that's how the tournament played out. Congratulations to Ricky, Adam, Sean, Nor, and all the other top 8 finishers, and all the other people who played in the tournament and had a great time. Before we take off and start preparing for Nationals, let's recap the characters who made the top. The most played characters making it into the elimination rounds were Billy the Kid, Dr. Watson, Leonidas, and Wicked Witch with 3 appearances each. Combat and Harness the Wind, not much of a surprise there. Then we saw 2 copies each of Jane Porter, Sherlock Holmes, and Sun Wukong. Jane had her ethno-archaeologist to try and counter the Wicked Witch, and Sun Wukong speaks for himself. But there were some overlooked characters who battled into the top 8 alone. Cthulhu, Deja Thoris, Joan of Arc, Mina Harker, and Zorro have shown up there a lot in the past, but there were so many more surprising participants as well. Captain Nemo's 10 energy and awesome suite of cards was great to see in Philadelphia. He pairs well with any deck, and I think this is the first time he made it into the top 8. What a fun character to play. Headless Horseman is an absolute beast against the character who's got Mark of the Headless. I can see Alan the Alien and Headless Horseman teaming it up in Skybound to get those assassin KOs and actually get Mark of the Headless into play. Morgan Le Fay is one of the coolest characters in the set with her negate, heal, place discard, and then incredible 3 combat, which lets you throw a teammate's attack, even one from reserve or the dead character pile. I'm so surprised that Morgan didn't show up more frequently this season, but I guess energy was not it. Finally, it was cool to see the 3 Musketeers in the mix too. Their team avoid and stacks upon stacks adventure make them a fun character with tons of pressure. Conspicuously absent from the top 8 are Zeus, Hercules, Count of Monte Cristo, and Robin Hood. 4 characters that everyone was raving about before the season began. No one could have expected this heavy slide into the shift meta that happened this season. I'm going to go more into how the season played out in a future video, but until then, thanks for watching and venture well.